In our small suburban home, the air often buzzed with the warmth of shared laughter and the hum of daily life. But beneath that facade, an unsettling tension had begun to seep into our marriage. My wife, Lila, and I had always had a pact. Two intricately carved chests stood at the foot of our bed, each filled with memories and secrets that we pledged never to open without each other's permission. Those chests were a testament to trust, the kind that seemed unbreakable, until now. Lately, I noticed Lila approaching her chest more frequently, her fingers grazing the polished wood as if it held some irresistible allure. Each time she did, a knot tightened in my stomach. What was she hiding? A part of me wanted to believe it was just her curiosity. But another part, a darker part, whispered insidious thoughts of betrayal. One evening, I returned home from work earlier than usual. The house was eerily quiet, a silence that felt heavy with unspoken words. I made my way upstairs and stopped outside our bedroom, catching a glimpse of Lila hunched over her chest. My heart raced. The way she moved, the intensity of her focus, it was as if she were trying to summon the secrets inside. "Lila?" I called, my voice slightly wavering. She jumped, shutting the chest quickly, her face flushed with a mixture of surprise and guilt. "Oh. You're home early," she stammered, brushing her hair behind her ear. The casualness of her tone didn't match the tension in her posture. "What were you doing?" I pressed, stepping closer. "Just organizing some old things," she replied, a forced smile plastered on her face. I could see her heart pounding in her throat, a telltale sign that she was hiding something. I hesitated, weighing my options. The pact had always been about trust, but trust was slipping away like sand through my fingers. That night, I lay awake, the moon casting a silvery light across the room. I thought of the chest, the secrets it held, and Lila's evasiveness only fueled my determination. As dawn broke, I made up my mind. I had to know the truth. After a restless night, I crept into our bedroom while Lila was still asleep, her soft breathing providing an odd sense of comfort amidst the storm brewing in my chest. The chest loomed before me, a silent sentinel of our shattered trust. My heart raced as I knelt before it, fingers trembling with anticipation. I slowly lifted the lid, revealing a trove of glittering rings, delicate jewelry, and, tucked beneath a layer of satin, a bundle of letters tied with a crimson ribbon. My breath caught in my throat as I picked up one of the letters, my name scrawled in elegant handwriting. It took everything in me to unwrap it, revealing a confession of love addressed not to me, but to another man. Each word was like a dagger, piercing through my heart as I realized the depth of her betrayal. I staggered back, the weight of the betrayal crashing over me like a tidal wave. My mind raced with images of Lila, laughing and loving another man, while I had been blissfully unaware. The jewelry, gifts from her lover, sparkled maliciously, mocking the sanctity of our marriage. I felt a fire ignite within me, a burning desire for revenge. How could she? How could she betray everything we had built? My hands curled into fists as I plotted my retribution. I would ruin her life, expose her deceit, and leave her with nothing but the shards of her shattered choices. I snapped the chest shut, the sound echoing through the room, a finality that resonated in my soul. I was no longer the unsuspecting husband, I was a man scorned, ready to take action. When Lila finally woke up, her smile faltered as she saw the look on my face. "What's wrong?" she asked, a feigned innocence cloaking her. "Nothing," I replied, a sinister calmness washing over me. "Just thinking about our secrets." Her eyes widened, and for a fleeting moment, I saw the fear cross her face. Little did she know, I had already begun to weave my plan for revenge. And soon she would learn the consequences of her betrayal. This was just the beginning. The next few days are a blur of normalcy, a stark contrast to the storm brewing inside me. Lila continues her routine, oblivious to the turmoil roiling beneath the surface. I play my part well, cracking jokes and sharing meals, but every laugh feels like a knife twisting deeper into my gut. That Friday evening, we attend a dinner party at our neighbor's house, a gathering I'm not particularly keen on. As we step inside, laughter and music fill the air, but I feel like an outsider in my own life. Lila mingles effortlessly, chatting with friends while I stand off to the side, nursing a drink and plotting my next move. "Hey, you okay?" Mark, my old friend, nudges me with a concerned look. "Yeah, just tired," I lie, forcing a smile. "Looks like you could use some fun," he says, gesturing toward the group where Lila is holding court, laughing at something someone said. "She's really in her element tonight." "Yeah, she is," I reply, my voice lacking enthusiasm. I can't help but think about the letters and the jewelry, knowing she's the life of the party while I'm carrying the weight of her betrayal. As the evening progresses, I spot Lila laughing with a handsome stranger across the room. My blood boils as he leans in too close, whispering something that makes her giggle. I can't take it any longer. The anger surges, propelling me forward. And echoing through the room, I call out, trying to keep my voice steady. "Can we talk?" She turns, surprise flashing across her face. "What's wrong?" Now, I insist, my tone sharper than intended. The music fades as she follows me to a quiet corner of the living room. I can see her confusion, but it only fuels my anger. "What is it?" she asks, crossing her arms defensively. I lean in closer, keeping my voice low but firm. "I know about the letters, Lila. I know you've been seeing someone else." Her expression shifts from surprise to denial in a heartbeat. "What are you talking about?" I pull the crumpled letter from my pocket, holding it up like evidence. "This. You think I wouldn't find out? You've been lying to me, sneaking around while I'm here, pretending everything is fine." Her eyes widen, and for a moment, she's speechless. I can explain, she stutters, glancing around as if searching for an escape. "Explain what?" "That you've been unfaithful? That you've betrayed me?" I can feel the anger boiling over, ready to explode. "Let's not do this here," she pleads, her voice shaking. "Can we go home and talk about this?" "Why?" "So you can spin more lies?" "I want the truth, Lila." The tension thickens, and I see a flicker of panic in her eyes. "Okay, fine. But let's not make a scene." I nod, heart pounding as I lead her outside. The cool night air hits us, a stark contrast to the heat of our confrontation. I'm determined to confront her, to make her understand the pain she's caused. Once we're alone in the car, I start driving toward our house, the silence hanging heavy between us. "You need to tell me everything," I demand, gripping the steering wheel tightly. Lila hesitates, her eyes darting to the window. "I didn't want to hurt you. It just happened." "Just happened?" I scoff, incredulous. "You didn't think about the promises we made? The life we built together?" "I made a mistake," she cries, her voice cracking. "But it didn't mean anything. I was feeling lost, and he was there for me." "Was he?" I ask, a bitter edge creeping into my voice. "You think I'm just going to let this go? You think I'm going to forgive you?" Lila's silence speaks volumes, and I feel a surge of satisfaction. She knows she's in trouble. When we reach home, I slam the car door behind me, pacing the living room as I try to collect my thoughts. "You're going to pay for this, Lila. I can't just forget what you've done." "What do you mean?" she asks, fear creeping into her voice. I turn to her, the resolve hardening in my chest. "I'm going to ruin your life just like you've ruined mine. You'll feel the weight of your betrayal." Her eyes widen in horror. "You can't mean that. You wouldn't do that to me." I step closer, my voice low and intense. "You have no idea what I'm capable of. You pushed me to this." With that, I grab my phone, sending a message to the only person who can help me. My friend Tom, a tech-savvy guy who can dig up dirt like nobody else. I need information on her lover. I need to expose the betrayal in the most public way possible. As I press send, I can almost feel the gears of my plan turning. The night is just beginning, and soon, Lila will understand the consequences of her choices. "I hope you're ready for what's coming," I say, turning my back on her. The resolve in my heart burns brighter than ever. Little does she know, this is just the beginning of my retribution. The next morning dawns heavy with tension. I barely sleep, replaying our confrontation in my mind. I can still see the shock on Lila's face, the way she faltered when I confronted her. I decide I can't let her have another moment of peace. After a quick breakfast, I pick up my phone and check for any updates from Tom. He's usually quick with information, especially when it comes to digging up dirt. As I sip my coffee, I'm filled with a sense of purpose. Today, I take the first step in my plan. Hey, I text Tom, I need you to find out everything you can about Lila's lover. I want names, photos, everything. I put my phone down, waiting anxiously. A few minutes later, it buzzes with a response. On it. Give me a couple of hours, Tom replies. I glance at Lila, who's in the other room, still unaware of the storm brewing around her. She's scrolling through her phone, likely looking for any sign that I've discovered her secret. It's time to put the next phase of my plan into action. By noon, I'm pacing the living room when my phone buzzes again. Tom's message flashes on the screen, got something. His name is Eric, works at a marketing firm downtown. I'll dig deeper. A surge of adrenaline rushes through me. I type back, thanks. Keep me posted. I take a deep breath and decide to confront Lila again. I can't let her hide from the truth any longer. Lila? I call, my voice cutting through the house. She appears in the doorway, her expression wary. What now? I take a step closer, my heart racing. I need to know everything about Eric. Her eyes widen in surprise, and I see the color drain from her face. What are you talking about? Don't play games with me, I snap, my patience wearing thin. I know his name. I want to know how long this has been going on. Lila falters, her gaze dropping to the floor. It was just a fling, a mistake. I didn't mean for it to happen. A mistake? I echo, incredulous. You think that justifies what you did? You think a fling doesn't hurt? You shattered my trust. Please, let's not do this again, she pleads, her voice trembling. I'm sorry. I really am. I want you to understand the pain you've caused, I say, stepping closer. And I'm going to make sure everyone else knows it too. What do you mean? She asks, her voice rising in alarm. I pull my phone from my pocket, ready to send a message to Tom. You're going to be exposed for who you really are, Lila. You think you can just betray me and walk away? Panic flashes across her face as she realizes I'm serious. You wouldn't do that. You can't. Watch me, I say, hitting send on the message. The silence stretches between us, thick with tension. I can see her calculating her next move, trying to gauge just how far I'm willing to go. I'll fix this, she finally says, her voice low. I'll end things with him. We can work this out, I promise. I shake my head, feeling a bitter laugh bubble up. You think this is just about you and me? No, Lila. This is about making sure you understand the consequences of your actions. She steps back, her expression a mix of fear and defiance. You're being irrational. This isn't you. I take a deep breath, trying to keep my cool. You pushed me to this point. You've broken everything we had. Before she can respond, my phone buzzes again. Tom has sent me a photo, Eric, standing casually in front of a sleek office building, a cocky smile plastered on his face. I feel a surge of rage at the sight of him, a stranger who's invaded my life. Look at this guy, I say, holding the photo up for her to see. This is who you chose over me? Lila's expression crumbles as she sees the image. I didn't mean for it to happen. I was lonely, and you were always busy. Busy? I shout, incredulous. I work hard to provide for us. How dare you blame me for your choices? Tears well up in her eyes, and for a moment, I feel a flicker of pity. But the anger quickly swells again, drowning out any compassion. Enough. I say, my voice firm. You need to understand that this isn't just going to disappear. I'm not going to let it. Please, she begs, her voice cracking. I'll do anything. Just don't go through with this. Just don't fix this, I reply coldly. Now it's my turn. I turn away from her, my mind racing with possibilities. I want everyone to see her for what she truly is, a liar and a cheat. As I grab my jacket and head out the door, Lila's voice follows me. Where are you going? To make sure you never forget what you've done, I say, closing the door behind me. I drive through the familiar streets, my heart pounding with a mix of anger and excitement. I'm determined to expose Lila and her lover, to show everyone the betrayal that has seeped into my life like poison. I pull into the parking lot of the marketing firm where Eric works, a plan already forming in my mind. I'll confront him, show him who he's messing with, and make him understand the pain he's caused. As I step out of my car, adrenaline surges through me. Today marks the beginning of the end for Lila and her affair. I'll make sure she understands the consequences of her actions. The walls are closing in, and soon she'll have nowhere to hide. The parking lot is eerily quiet as I step out of my car, adrenaline coursing through my veins. I glance around, ensuring no one is watching as I make my way toward the entrance of the marketing firm. I can't shake the feeling that this is the moment everything changes. Today, I reclaim my power. As I push through the glass doors, I'm struck by the modern decor, the bustling employees moving about with purpose. I scan the reception area, searching for Eric. It doesn't take long for me to spot him, tall, charming, and too comfortable in his surroundings. He's laughing with a coworker, completely unaware of the storm about to hit him. Hey! I call out, my voice sharp enough to cut through the chatter. Eric turns, surprise flashing across his face as he registers who I am. What the hell are you doing here? I'm here to talk about Lila, I say, stepping closer, my body tense with anger. He scoffs, crossing his arms. I think you should leave. This is a workplace. I take another step forward, my heart pounding. Oh, it's a workplace? You think that gives you a free pass to mess around with my wife? His expression shifts, amusement replaced by something darker. Listen, man, that's between you and her. I'm not afraid of you. Not afraid? I echo, disbelief coloring my tone. You should be. Before he can respond, I lunge at him, shoving him hard against the wall. The impact reverberates through the office, and the chatter quiets. Employees start to turn their heads, curiosity and concern etched on their faces. Hey, a voice shouts from the reception desk. What's going on? Ignoring the interruption, I lean in closer to Eric, my voice low and menacing. You think you can just waltz into my life and take what's mine without consequences? Get off me, he snarls, trying to push me away, but I hold my ground. Let me make this clear, I say, my voice dripping with venom. You're going to end this affair. You'll tell Lila you're done, and you'll stay out of our lives. If I ever find out you've even looked at her again, I will ruin you. Is that a threat? He shoots back, but I can see the fear flickering in his eyes. I step back, giving him room to breathe, but my expression remains icy. It's a promise. Before I can leave, the receptionist approaches, her brow furrowed with concern. Sir, you need to leave. I'm calling security. I turn my gaze back to Eric, my anger bubbling beneath the surface. You're lucky I don't want to cause a scene. But remember this moment, Eric. This isn't over. With that, I storm out of the office, my heart racing. I can feel the eyes of the employees on me as I walk away, but I don't care. I've sent my message loud and clear. Once outside, I take a deep breath, the cool air washing over me. My phone buzzes, and I see a text from Tom, found more on Eric. He has a history of affairs. I'll send you the details. A smirk forms on my lips as I realize I can use this to my advantage. I pull out my phone and start crafting a message to Lila, laying out everything I've just done. I want her to know the lengths I'm willing to go to make her understand the magnitude of her betrayal. As I type, I can almost feel the weight lifting off my shoulders. She thinks she can walk away from this unscathed, but I'm not going to let that happen. I send the message, my heart pounding with anticipation. Lila, I write, I confronted Eric today. He's terrified. I'm done playing nice. You'll hear from me soon. When I get home, Lila is waiting for me, her face a mask of worry. Where have you been? She demands, her voice tinged with anxiety. I was at the firm, I say coolly, shrugging off her concern. I had a little chat with your lover. Her eyes widen, and for a moment, I see genuine fear cross her features. What did you do? Let's just say he understands the gravity of the situation, I reply, a sense of satisfaction washing over me. You can't just threaten him, she cries, her voice rising. This isn't how adults handle things. Adult? You think cheating on your spouse is an adult decision? I shoot back, anger flaring. You've shattered everything we built together. I'm sorry, she pleads, stepping closer. I never wanted it to go this far. I step back, my resolve hardening. You crossed the line, Lila. You can't just take it all back with an apology. The tension in the room thickens, suffocating us both. What do you want? She asks, desperation creeping into her voice. I want you to feel the consequences of your choices, I say, my voice steady. And you will. I'll make sure everyone knows what you did. I'll show them the truth. No, she screams, her hands clenching into fists. You can't ruin my life like this. It's too late for that, I say, my heart hardening. You made your choice. As the fight drains from her, I can see the realization wash over her. She knows I'm serious, that I won't back down. I hate you, she finally says, her voice trembling with emotion. I can't believe you would stoop so low. I hate what you've done to us, I retort. You took everything I trusted and threw it away. This is your fault. I turn away, leaving her standing there, a mix of anger and despair etched on her face. In that moment, I feel a strange sense of relief wash over me. I've taken control, and now I can move forward. Days turn into weeks as I carry out my plan, spreading the news of Lila's betrayal. I send anonymous tips to her friends, her family, anyone who would listen. I make sure they know the truth about her affair. Eventually, the fallout becomes undeniable. Friends distance themselves, whispers echo through our once cherished social circles, and Lila's reputation crumbles. One evening, as I sit in our living room, the silence stretches painfully between us. Lila finally breaks, tears streaming down her face. What have you done? I did what you forced me to do, I reply, my voice devoid of sympathy. You made your choices, and now you have to live with the consequences. In that moment, it's clear that our love is irreparably shattered. The betrayal has forged a chasm between us that can never be bridged. I hate you, she whispers again, and this time it carries a weight of truth. Good, I reply, my voice firm. Because I hate you too. With that, we turn away from each other, two strangers caught in a web of betrayal. As I pack my bags, I realize I'm finally free. I no longer carry the burden of her deceit. I walk out of that house, leaving behind the memories, the love that once was, and the betrayal that will haunt us both forever. In the end, we part ways, forever changed by the darkness that engulfed us. And as I step into the night, I know that I'll never look back.